All right, onwards and upwards. All right, let's go now, change gears completely. Let's go to what I call the big bad three, right? And why are they the big bad three? Because they're in the government crosshairs. And that always provides some challenges for these names. First of the big bad three is Goldman Sachs. Big top on Goldman. You see it here. Got the 180 to 185 to how high was this? 193 down to 147. Consolidated under 147 for a while. Went to new lows last week, 136. I still think it can get down to probably like 110, 100. But it does look like, I have to be honest, it does look like it could be in the progress of starting a pretty interesting rally. Where could it go? Well, the resistance starts at 147 and change, and it probably extends up to 151, 153, 155. So depending on, Goldman's very oversold. So I think probably Goldman, we should expect it to get to 153, which could provide a nice trade in Goldman. The question is, what happens after that, right? Goldman has some real challenges ahead, and I'm talking about technically, forgetting the challenges it has ahead politically and from a government business confrontation angle. Right? So, look, I think that this whole picture tells me that Goldman has further to go, maybe 110. So, if I had to map out the scenario, I would say that Goldman is going up here to 155, and then it's going to get hit again, and there'll be reasons why Goldman will end up somewhere near 110 before it's all said and done. Right? Next one of the big bad three is British Petroleum, and we all know what's going on with British Petroleum. Here's the weekly chart of British Petroleum, and if the top was, let's say the top was 61 down to 51, or 62 to 51, $10 for argument's sake, 51 minus 10 is 41, and right now it's at 43.86. So maybe British Petroleum can stage a rally with everything else, but my sense is that it will find the low 40s, lower than the 43 and change level. So I'd still be careful there, but at 41 there may be a huge opportunity for the beginning of a pretty nice rally phase in British Petroleum, regardless of the problems and the money it's spent or will have to spend. All right, the final one of the big bad three is Massey Energy, which is in the government's crosshairs because of all the mining violations, safety violations apparent, or that it's accused of perpetrating on its workforce. And so this is a pretty big top and a very bearish looking chart still, even though you have a non-confirmation in Massey, so there's probably going to be a pretty lively bounce here. Right? Where can it go? Well, let's see. I would think that it would be really tough for Massey to get through 37. But a rally from 31 and change to 36 or 37, that's a pretty healthy rally. It may be worth looking at. But then I think it's going to ultimately have to have another down leg before it ends this major correction. And then their memories will start to phase. Massey will come out with all sorts of remedies, and it'll start the repair process. All right, so that's the big bad three. How about some good charts? All right. Well, do they still look good? All right, here's a phenomenal chart, and let's just see if it still looks good. Netflix. Right now, Netflix, the one thing that just is glaring here is how Netflix spiked up, made a new high in momentum at the same time, and then had a real problem, right? Actually, the momentum high, this is a classic. Momentum high occurred on April 26th, right? And then all these takeout rumors occurred that actually some big company like Microsoft or IBM was looking at taking out Netflix. So Netflix makes a new high. Initial high was what? 109 and change. Then it takes off and goes up again to 119 before it fell apart last week with everything else. But both the pattern, the strength of the rally, the RSI holding a certain level as price came down, all look to me as though Netflix is still a phenomenal chart. For the near term, as long as this level holds right around 90, Netflix looks like the rally will continue and probably go up towards to retest the highs. So Netflix is a great looking chart that still provides some opportunity on the long side, either for a trading basis and perhaps even on an investable basis if 90 is your stop. Of course, someone comes in and pays up for Netflix, well, all the more power to the holders of the long positions. Another one that had a phenomenal chart was CREE. Does it still have a phenomenal chart? Well, CREE looks pretty good. This was the flash crash low on 59.80 at 59.86. It didn't get anywhere near that last Friday. So CREE looks like, if anybody's on an investable basis, CREE looks like it is investable above the flash crash low. Question is, what it will do in this rally. And my suspicion is CREE probably has the ability to get up to 73, maybe 74 or so. And then it's going to come back down here, and the key will be whether it holds $59 on any retest. But CREE still has a phenomenal chart. Still looks like it could be worth certainly trading, if not investing. Finally, let's go over to Apple real quick. And Apple, looks like you would expect Apple to look. I don't know what to make of the flash crash low when I went from 250 to 200, but it looks like right now all the marbles really are 225. Friday's low was Friday's low 231. So this is the cushion, 231 and a half, 225 and a quarter. As long as Apple stays above that level, it looks like it will consolidate and trade probably between 260 and 230 for a while. And depending on what happens thereafter, if its virtual news cycle can continue, Apple will have another up leg. And all those analysts out there who are predicting $300 will get their crack. But if the virtuous news cycle ends, even Apple has the ability to go down, even though most people don't think so. But this remains probably the best chart of all, and for good reason. So anyway, I think that's where I'll leave it. There's some other things I'd like to go over, but this is getting very long, so I'll leave it there and just caution everyone that even the good charts look like they're going to have a rally that will not be sustained. And as you go south, so to speak, from the good charts to the lousy charts to the really toppy ones, the rallies should be of lesser and lesser magnitude. So pick your spots carefully, and hopefully I'll be able to help out on that side of with that effort to pick our spots carefully and benefit from perhaps this rally, but be out of harm's way if and when the rally ends, which I think will be within 1 to 3 days. Have a great rest of Sunday.